Obviously, a big challenge for us this week, coming off a big game last week, and but at the back end of the season, I think we have 3 games, and is it 12 or 13 days, or so you're playing 3 games in. I think it was a 12-day period, right? It's 3 games in 12 days. So that's a big challenge to finish off the season for our guys, and this being the middle game of those games, obviously, is a big challenge. Going on the road, playing an excellent team with the early kick, going over there. They're a team that we've been in this position before. They're fighting for bowl eligibility. They got everything on the line to play for. They have their starting quarterback back, who really – I think this will probably be the first game he's 100% healthy. I know he played some last week, but obviously we know. I think he was preseason All-SEC quarterback, probably one of the top quarterback, if not the top quarterback in the SEC. And they're a different team with him back there. And anytime you play, when we've been playing Arkansas, I think you look at what they do offensively. They do as good a job as anybody in the country, combining the power run and physical run game with their running backs, with a great combination of play action pass and then screens of utilizing tight ends and backs. So they're going to use them all over the field. Defensively, made a change, but with the 3-4 scheme this year than kind of what they've been in the past. But you see, they're very, very sound in what they do defensively. They fit. Everybody's there where they need to be. Don't give up to me, they're not set to give up explosive plays. They're going to make you earn everything throughout the game, and it's a great combination to the offense that they run of putting pressure on you as a team. So it'll be a real big challenge for us to come back and our big challenge this week is, can we continue, like I've said the last couple of weeks, are we a good team or not? Are we a team that's improving as the season goes on? Can we improve and practice harder this week? Can we play better next Saturday than we did this past Saturday? For the most part this season, I think we've improved from one week to the next, and that challenge is still ahead of us. And if obviously going on the road against an excellent team, we're going to have to do that and improve this week off of last week's performance.
Hey, Dan, what's your level of concern with your guys?
Different shirt today, too.
Yeah, well,
cool patterns right there.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Aside from my attire, what's your level of concern with your guys' sort of mentality after post-Alabama and before, with this game sandwich between Ole Miss as well?
Well, I think it's a big deal for what type of team we are. It's a big challenge for our guys. If we think we're a good football team, we're going to find a way to be better this week than we were last week, and that's what good teams do. Really good teams, that's what they do. And so right now, my concern's not much, but I want to see. We haven't practiced yet. We haven't done anything yet, and as coaches and as the players and everybody within this program, our mentality has to be, we have the opportunity to still have a great season ahead of us and do a lot of really good things. We have 3 losses to teams in the top 7. So we want to finish this season strong and hopefully put ourselves as a top 10, top 15 program in the country, and a top 10, top 15 team in the country. And if we can do that, we're going to have to be much better this week than we were last week. And so that if that focus changes, then we won't have a special year. We won't be considered at the level we want our team to be at.
How does the Arkansas's offense change with Austin Allen back at quarterback?
Well, you look. He's such a great passer, and not the other guy with the size and all wasn't, but I think he brings just that experience within the throw game and the ability making all the throws. Where if you look at the Kelly guy that was there before, he had the ability to do it, just didn't have the veteran experience. But he was a big dude, it looked like, So, he wasn't afraid to stand in the pocket. He wasn't afraid to drop his pads and go take hits. Where Austin, even though being athletic is much more of your kind of a pro quarterback that's going to be back there, know the reads, has the experience, knows the system, and is going to be a lot more experienced and efficiently experienced within their offense.
Hey, Dad, you mentioned you've talked a lot recently about the idea of skipping steps in this league in terms of building a program, and suddenly it's like you get bowl eligibility, and the next step is like championship type of team because of where you play. So I guess like how close are you to that level of getting this program to that level?
I don't know. Every year is a different year. I thought if you look Saturday night, Alabama's the #1 team in the country. I thought we went toe-to-toe with them for 4 quarters. Thought both teams played well. They didn't turn it over or give up explosive plays or tip balls to keep us in the game. I thought both teams played pretty well toe-to-toe for 4 quarters. They just made some more plays at the end and, or really throughout the whole course of the game. You look at 4 quarters, there's a lot of different things that could have happened. So, and a lot within this league, too, also depends, and you get crossover games. You don't play everybody, so you have certain crossover games. Our draw this year was to play the 2 best teams on the other side of the league, and plus everybody on our side. So that can weigh in sometimes to how the season plays out. So I think we're getting there. I came here almost 9 years ago now to build a team that's going to compete for championships, and I think we've taken step 1 of being a consistent winner. Of going to bowl games, and I think we flirted with it a couple years ago, and I think we're trying to get closer to be a team right now that can go compete for that championship, and we want to be a team that does that consistently.
I know, like you said, still a lot of football left, but going in this last stretch, the senior class has the chance to become the winningest senior class ever at MSU.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I know it's a smaller group than usual, but. What have they sort of meant to you, and in terms of building the program and sustaining success?
Well, when you look at the guys that are in here, and there's a lot of guys within this program, the senior class, that have overcome some different adversities. If you look at a Des Harris, who's had to suffer through multiple injuries to come out to be a team captain, a Donald Gray, who had to go to junior college to get, sign with us out of high school, had to go to junior college to get here, a Martinez Rankin, who, really was unrecruited coming out of high school and becomes this junior college star in the recruiting rankings, but still has to come and learn, and develop. Jordan Thomas got thrown in right away last year as a big athletic guy to go play. J.T. Gray, same deal. Never got to redshirt, but, made sacrifices for the team. Even a Talando Cleveland who, 5 years ago was playing in this game, was battling and fighting when we were 4-6 to get us bowl eligible before we went on a big run to be a great team. So, I'm really proud of, like I said, it's not a big senior class, but every one of them has really had to deal with different adversities throughout their career, and they've bought in and believed in every aspect of the program. And you look at it's unbelievable they could have that success. Logan Cook had his red shirt pulled 30 seconds before kickoff, playing a top 5 team in the country, and had to kick off and punt in that game. And so all of these different seniors, they all have such special stories of what the sacrifices they've made, the adversities they've had to overcome during their career, but they've believed in everything this program stands for and what it's about, and you see they've been rewarded with the success that they've had.
Darrell Williams has strung together a few pretty good games. How has he developed over the course of the year?
I think he's really coming along nicely because, I think he went into the offseason after last season really with what, we say a lot, probably a chip on a shoulder of wanting to really prove what he could do. One of the hardest working guys on the offensive line in the offseason, really that, I think he saw an opportunity to go play and said, I'm going to go take that opportunity. I'm going to go take that spot. And I think the great thing you're seeing with him is now as a guy that worked hard to get his spot, and now he's getting that experience. And he's really, playing at a very good level for us as a guy that, put in the time, put in the effort, put in the work, but now also starting to be a guy that plays with experience and with the confidence of being out there on the field.
Any update at all on Donald or Gabe or Brandon or any of the other guys been banged up?
Yeah, Gabe's going to be. Gabe won't be able to play this week. Donald's questionable. I think they're pretty optimistic he could be back this week. I wasn't sure of that, but today they were optimistic. Dez, we're not going to know until a little bit later in the week. With his issue, he had a thigh bruise, but there's some other complications a little bit with it. So, it's all going to. it's not the initial injury that is going to be the issue for him. Who else? Yeah, Brandon was good. Yeah, they said yesterday he was okay yesterday coming in the training room. So, he just got hit the ground right at the wrong spot. Right there on the head, and was kind of knocked out a little bit. But they said, he came to and he wanted to go back in the game. We didn't let him. And but there is discussion. It would have been close to clear him to go back in possibly, but it wasn't something we felt comfortable with.
Looked like Nick was throwing up on the sidelines during the
game.
Was he sick or something?
No, I think he was just tired. So he'd run a couple plays in a row. He's done that a couple times. Usually, he did it a couple weeks ago. Like he did it like after the first or second drive. He'll do it sometimes, but I get him, Brett. Especially late in the year, I want to make sure they're conditioning enough. But I think if you watch, if he goes on a couple, especially if he's got a lot of runs. One of the things that is challenging with the condition at quarterback, condition, we joke those guys all the time because, man, they don't do all that much, right? They should, other guys got to run and do all. Receivers are running like marathons during the course of a game. The line's pounding on people. They just stand, hand the ball off, throw it, look good, and set, in the end zone afterwards. But it is, think of this. Go run. Try this one time, right? Go do a 40-yard sprint, okay? Then come back. And immediately sit there. I'm going to give you a long play to call. Break the huddle, and then try to yell and scream a cadence. And you're like, so you got to be in condition that way. So that's all that was. I went in and, they took him in the little tent thing to puke, but he puked outside of that. So I guess it was nice for whoever was coming into the tent next that didn't smell like puke.
Some of the younger wide receivers have had to step up with Donald and Gabe and things been out. Just kind of what's been some of your impressions of how they've kind of, progressed, I guess, as the season's gone along?
What I like is they're really working hard at it, and they've embraced that responsibility. As you told me, we had 10 different. Did we throw to 10 different receivers on consecutive plays or something, or was it first 10 completions were to 10 different receivers? And there's a lot of teams out there. Team we played, they were looking basically just throwing it to one guy. We got the one guy, we're going to throw it to him, and and scheme it up to get it to that guy. That's not how we've been. We're going to distribute and take what the defense gives us. But I think the benefit of doing that is to be able to, when you have the massive amounts of injuries we've had at receiver, that there's still confidence out there that next guy up, go make the play. And I'm pleased with it. Doesn't seem like the spotlight's been too big for they've too big for those guys. They've performed in those situations. A lot of them are in situations they probably didn't think they would be in, but they're embracing it instead of being worried about it. They go out there, say, "Coach, just give me the opportunity. I'll find a way to make a play." And they've made a lot of them this year.
Hey, Dan, your name once again is being brought up as soon as the Tennessee job came open. How attractive is that job compared to the one that you have?
I love the one I have. I think what you see is what we've been able to build Mississippi State into. As I keep saying, and I think everybody has an opinion in the world of what I should and shouldn't do. Most people that know me and friends that have known me for a long time. No, I like my own opinion. I'm not really interested in other people's opinions. So, all that much. So I like my own opinion. And my wife, I listen to her opinion too. You got no choice but to do that, right? You get yourself in it's advice, right? If you get in that situation, whether you like her opinion or not, you merely want to take that one and really contemplate on when you hear that. But no, I love like I said, when you look around, when we've been able to build a facility, I have an AD that's been a coach, I have a president that hugely supports our football program. We've built a team that's a top 25 program in my mind. And look at the atmosphere Saturday night. So I have a great job.